I'm Andrew Morrison, Chairman of Beef and Lamb New Zealand, but actually I'm a Southland farmer. I'm standing here in the rain today talking to you guys. So you can hear the sheep in the background. I don't know if you can hear the birds chirping in the trees beside us. At the heart of this all, guys, I'm a farmer. These are really hard debates we're having. These are challenging, and these are appropriate questions you're asking around leadership. But let's go back to the core of all the people that are involved in this debate, be it the Chairman of Dairy NZ, Jim Vanderpoel, he's a farmer. Andrew Morrison, I'm a farmer in Southland Otago. I'm a sheep farmer, you can see my hoggets behind me. All of our board, not all of our board, we have 6 elected farmer representatives and 3 independent directors on the board of Beef and Lamb New Zealand. 2 of those independent directors have interest in farming. So just want to give you some assurity that all the positions we're taking on this are informed with science, but actually impact your directors and your chairman just as much as any of the people that we're having this discussion around. So, you know, when pain points come in the discussions, it affects us just as much as anyone else in the sector. So I just wanted to introduce myself and talk about that, because it's really important to understand that. This is farmers working to find solutions for farmers. Often you hear the question, is criticism of rural leadership fair? Look, the way I'd respond to that is I think it's appropriate that people question rural leaders and the decisions that they make. So look, yeah, there's nothing wrong with criticising. The question is, are we criticising the leaders or are we criticising the decision? That's the challenge we've got. And look, leaders actually lead organisations, and so the leader himself doesn't make the decision. You've got the organisations, be it the boards and the managements and the workshops, that lead to those decisions. So if people want to personalise the response and say, oh, this leader doesn't understand what they're doing, be quite clear there's a bunch of processes that lead to that decision. The other thing that's really interesting in this discussion is a bunch of leaders have come together collectively to solve a really difficult problem. So as criticising individual leaders, be well aware that it's not just the leader that's come up with the answer, it's the collective that has come up with the answer. You often get asked, what do you learn about leadership, in your time in the chair? Look, leadership is hard, and especially in times when there's pretty robust debates going on around things that we've never had to discuss before. Like climate change is a global challenge, and climate change for agriculture in New Zealand with such a unique profile is really unique. We don't have any templates to work off on this one. 48% of New Zealand's emissions come from agriculture. That's not 48% of the warming, but that's the emissions. If we want to look for a template, Ireland is the next closest country with about 34% of its emissions. Australia only runs 14% of their emissions being agriculture. So all of our challenges are quite unique to the debates we're having. What I've learned is it's really, really hard when you're trying to solve like a Rubik's Cube, and it's difficult. So what we did as a bunch of leaders is we came together as the Farming Leaders Group, 11 entities, to say this is really hard. What can we work collectively on to try and get a system that actually delivers on what we need to? A system that meets the targets but yet keeps our farmers remaining viable on the process. What I have learned, it's not always a popularity contest. It's if you've got to make some hard calls informed by science, you've just got to make them. As I say, I won't always be popular, or they won't always be popular decisions. But if you know something, you can't unknow it and walk away from a problem. So just to give some context around Hauwaka Kinoa, it was the grouping of effectively the farming sector. The 11 organisations came together right across the meat industry, MIA, Beef and Lamb New Zealand, the dairy industry, Decans, Dairy NZ, Hort New Zealand, Irrigation New Zealand, Foundation for Arable Research, Deer Industry, Apiculture. I probably missed some. FOMA is really important, Federation of Maori Authorities and Federated Farmers in New Zealand. Really big problem is we decided we had to collectively come together, not fight amongst ourselves, but bring a unified voice to government to get a position that actually meets the needs of the whole sector. What we've learned from this is it's a really powerful to have the discussions amongst the sector and sort out your problems and then go to government with a united solution. The ability to use this in other other debates would be really, really powerful too. We still have to sort the water quality, nutrient allocation, water security. How are we going to do that? I would see He Waka Noa, or the Farming Leaders Partnership model, as a really good model to work through that also.